Griffon Sports Insider is presented by Mosaic Life Care.
Hello and welcome to GSI. Ryan Minley, not Brett Easley, a little bit taller. We fired Brett for the week, but we've got the taller guy. The voice of the Griffons, Dave Riggert, making your GSI debut. Thanks for being here. I know this is like the best, most monumental moment in your life, right?
Lifelong dream. Even before I knew I was going to come to Missouri Western, I had to be on this show.
Now life can end and you can die a happy man.
I'm done.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me. And again, it's always a good week to be a Griffon. This week, no different. Griffon volleyball continues to be very, very good. Soccer rolling right now. They've won 4 straight. That's the longest winning streak in school history. Football team, they're back on track. They got to win on Saturday.
Yeah, they try to move to 5-2 this Saturday at Washburn. But before we look ahead, let's look back. Offense, defense, and special teams put it all together in a 26-7 win last Saturday at Fort Hays.
Week 6 takes us to Hays, Kansas. Skylar Windmiller and the Griffons trying to get a struggling offense going against a salty Fort Hays State defense. This is one way to do it. Western's opening drive, Raphael Spencer gets a hole, and he is shot out of a cannon. They will not catch him. 71 yards to the house. Griffons take a 7-0 lead 6 minutes in. The Western D doing its part. Sam Brown picks off the Travion Albert pass. That would lead to a John Spielmeyer field goal to make it a 10-0 game. That's fellow corner Michael Jordan giving his approval. Jordan, though, out of this game with an undisclosed injury, adding to an already banged-up Griffon squad. Hays, meanwhile, battling back in the second quarter at the goal line. Albert the fade. Isaiah Maxey, the great catch. Tigers within 3, but we'll save the suspense. That's the only points Hays would score all night. Griffons up 13-7 at halftime. They then open the third quarter on a 10-play, 75-yard drive. Windmiller caps it with his first career rushing touchdown. He was also 15 of 26 for 153 yards through the air. It's a 19-7 Western lead. Play of the night, though, comes at the end of the third quarter. Hays punting, snap is high, Griffons blocking. Dante Watkins gets a hand on it. Mackenzie Wishman scoops it up, returns it to the Hays 12, and Griffons turn that to points. 3 plays later, Spencer up and over. 23 carries, 167 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns for the junior running back. The defense would give up yards, but keep the Tigers out of the end zone in the second half. They also forced 3 Hays turnovers and cruised to a 26-7 victory. Western back on the winning track, runs the record to 4-2.
All the way across Kansas in the middle of nowhere, it seems like, coming out here getting a win against a very good team that beat a good Pittsburgh team a few weeks ago, and I think it's huge for us. And offensively, we really stepped it up and did what we needed to do.
I felt good coming in. Actually, I felt good the whole week because I started doing yoga, and I found out how tight I was, and you know, I actually lost a little bit of weight this week too. But
just from 1 week of yoga?
Yeah, honestly, from 1 week of yoga. I don't know, that's how my body is, but it just felt good to see our offensive line just perform like I know they can, and it was good. It was a good victory.
And joining us now, head coach Jerry Partridge. Raphael Spencer's doing yoga. Apparently that's what makes you run for 165 yards. 1 week worth of yoga.
Hey, they should have been doing it all along, I guess. But he's ran well anyway, so I don't know. I mean, he looked probably a little faster, I guess. But I had no idea until the post game with Dave that he did yoga.
Do you do yoga?
It would hurt me tremendously, I would think. Maybe it'd be good, but I don't think I could ever get folded or unfolded.
You look a little quicker.
You know, I've been doing some pacing, pace carring, I'm saying. I know I pace and I walk, but I felt like I was stride for stride with Josh Walker 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you're stride for stride
I should have yelled wolf. I should have yelled wolf.
You're stride for stride with Josh Walker this past week because he was sidelined.
Yeah, he's walking, right?
Not moving at all. Most complete game you've played this year?
Probably so. You know, I think we did some good things against Northeastern Oklahoma too, but I think overall that was the best. You know, I thought Skyler played well. I thought Raphael ran hard. We converted some third downs. I mean, it's still not the third down percentage we want, but we made some big catches. The most encouraging thing was the start of the game, to break a big play and score, and then the start of the third quarter, that was really, really encouraging to drive and score there. Defensively, with the exception of maybe one series and all the trash yards late, was good. And special teams, I thought we played great too. So,
talk about special teams, because in your tenure at Western, that's always been a focus for you guys. You block a PAT, it doesn't count because there's a penalty, but you block a punt. You've blocked a couple of PATs so far this year. It's huge. You had a punt return.
You run one back, yeah, for a touchdown that gets called back.
I mean, that's always a big part of your game, and boy, you own that on Saturday.
Yeah, kickoff coverage has been really good throughout anyway, and I think punt coverage was really good. And you know, I think it's helped us run that fake a couple weeks ago because people backed off the punt block and we've been able to cover. But you're right, punt return, really 2 straight weeks we've made something happen. You know, we fumbled at the end of the one 2 weeks ago, but we really started getting the punt return thing going, and to be able to block a punt's always nice because generally if you block a punt, set up a score, you're going to win a football game. But yeah, we got the penalty on the field goal block. We cheated, extra point block, we cheated. We pulled a guy, but then they held Rezegi the next snap. And so, but yeah, I think things are looking good there, and we got to keep doing it.
You went a little deeper on the offensive line as far as rotation went too, and it seemed like that worked out. The offensive line played fairly well.
Rotated Mike Coatailing in for John Carter, and then Max Oser for Nick Williams. And idealistically, you'd like to see kids just compete, but sometimes it helps get competition. And I think everybody played real well. I think it was really the best offensive line performance we've had, and this year for sure. And most games last year, really, it was really good. And I think that was a good football team we played. I think it was a very good defense we played.
We talked about how well the defense played and did it shorthanded. No Joey Capel, no Mike Jordan, both of them sidelined on Saturday. What's the prognosis here coming the week?
Well, I don't know for sure. I think Mike's potentially going to play. Still lingering effects from his concussion 3 weeks ago. Really had a concussion during practice for Northeastern, and then it felt like he passed all the tests and was cleared, and telling everybody he was okay, and he played. And he played against Lindenwood. Of course, he's going to play against Lindenwood because he's in the Lou, and then played against Pitt. And then I just think he just hadn't felt right and felt like he needed to sit out last week, and he did. And hopefully he's going to feel right this week. And Joey, I don't know that we'll get Joey back this week, but we're hoping maybe Emporia or something. But we'll see. I mean, Cody Lindsey did a good job in his stead, and Cody makes plays. I mean, he's not necessarily in the right place all the time, but he does make plays.
Guys are stepping up. Step up again. You got Washburn, the Ichabods, going into Topeka this Saturday. We'll talk about them when we come back. Well, time now for Big Bo's Big Prediction once again, although Big Bo didn't give a big prediction last week because you were too mad because the Griffins lost 2 weeks ago. Are you better this week? Okay, that's good to know. By the way, I don't have a microphone on him this week because he ate the microphone I had last week.
And it was good, too.
Yeah, it was also very, very expensive, but that's beside the point. Well, Bo, the Griffins got back on the winning track last week, a win at Fort Hays. That had to make you feel pretty good.
It's a good start, but we need more.
Well, I would agree with that as well. The Griffins 4-2, heading to 2-4 Washburn this week in Topeka. Bo, I need a score because I know you already know.
Griffins 260, Ichabod 70.
260 to 70. Bo, all you did was take last week's score at Fort Hays and multiply it by 10. You can't do that.
All right, Griffins 260, Ichabod's -70. Ichabod Crane feels total pain. Go Griffs.
Well, he's back on the bandwagon. You win a game and everything's good and rosy with the world and Bo's world.
I think I like him better when he doesn't talk.
I don't blame you. Washburn, 2-4 on the year, blanked by Central Missouri 44-0 a week ago, but beat Fort Hays, who you just beat last week. They beat them 27-24 in overtime 2 weeks ago. The Ichabod's averaging 16 points a game. They're giving up 33 points a game, but really the telling stat here is they're -12 in turnover margin. That's probably why you equate that 2-4, but still doesn't make a whole lot of sense because there's a lot of good players on this team.
Yeah, they're kind of an enigma. You just can't figure out what the problem is. I think the turnovers are probably the secret. The biggest thing is they haven't taken it away. They've got no fumble recoveries all year long. They have 3 interceptions for 4 interception return yards. So it's hard. In the past, some of his best teams have been take it away, have major return yards. Sometimes they've given up some yards on defense, but they take it away in the red zone, stop in the red zone. So, they still got really good football players. They're still well coached. It's just hard to figure out, and I'm sure that's what Coach Sherrick's trying to figure out too.
With Coach Sherrick, again, he's a long-tenured guy in this league, just like you are. You guys have had similar type teams. Are they still kind of the same type of team that you've seen in the past from his club?
Yeah, I think they're going to try to run the football. Same run plays they've always ran. They'll try to get you formationally and create big pass plays out of it. Defensively, they still mix the 4-man front and the 3-man front. They look like they got good-looking kids in their pads. They got kids that run well. They got gigantic linemen. It's hard to figure out right now. They've laid 2 bad ones, really. And the Pittsburgh game and then last week in Warrensburg, and I'm sure it's got him scratching his head. They beat a good Fort Hays team in overtime. It was a quality win. He barely beat Kearney. Kearney
lose to Lindenwood.
Losing Lindenwood early, that was kind of a shootout kind of game. So. I don't know. It's hard to put the finger on, but I'm counting on the very best Washburn-Ichabod program on Saturday afternoon.
Well, if it's the very best, what's the key to victory for the very best Griffon program that needs to show up?
Consistency on offense, like we've been doing. We got to continue to make completions and give our quarterback time and catch the football. I certainly no turnovers. That's huge, and keep that going that way. Defensively, got to keep the big plays from happening. One of the things we always try to talk about is the big plays, games over 20, and trying to win that thing. And we haven't been winning that lately. We've been kind of losing that. Even last Saturday was 3-3. So that's kind of the thing you want to do next. But I think we got to continue to be physical, and that was what we challenged the kids last week, especially our offense matching Fort Hays' physicality, and we did it. And I think Washburn's brand of football is to be physical as well, and that's what we got to do again.
The team that's coming off a loss 44-0 and probably not feeling great about themselves, is it key? I know it is every game, but especially this game, to get on early, maybe have some doubt in their mind? Kind of like you did it at Fort Hays?
Yeah, I think so. But they're gonna be ready. I mean, he hasn't been coaching as long as he's been coaching. He'll have a team ready. And even then, if you go to get them down, they're not necessarily going to fold. They're going to fight. And you just can't give them air. And we're not good enough to sit there and think we're just going to roll out there and knock somebody around. We got to go out there and play a full 60 minutes and hope that they don't. And that's what will help us win.
A lot has been made about Missouri Western's offensive struggles this season. Scoring in this league, though, overall down this year. Just one team averaging 40 points a game. Everybody else, second, third place.
Everybody was having
Everybody was. You had 3 or 4 teams that were right at 40 a game, and the second best team in scoring is at 32 points a game. You guys are not even right at the middle of the pack at 20 a game. What do you make of that? Not everybody's defense is better.
No, it's cyclical. I think that last year, right, we had 400 yards a game. We were 30 points a game.
38 points a game.
We're less than half. We're bottom half. And it's just weird. I don't know that the quarterback play in this league is as good as it was last year. Honestly, but I think that's part of it.
No Brett Easley here this week. You had Dave Riggert. So
we talk about pumpkin pie.
We do have a tantalizing trio. It's not Easley's tantalizing trio. I guess in his tribute it will be Easley's tantalizing trio.
He should be.
No food this week.
Great Royals fan that he is. We should be honoring him.
I'm going to stick with the Royals theme, but first we're going to go a little bit out of the box.
Okay.
You ready for this? We're going to go more than 3 too. So the tantalizing trio is just completely out. Now I'm rambling
not
like
even
easy.
Trio plus. It's not even a trio.
Feel free to throw in if you want to. If you were drafting an all-time football team NFL-wise, who would be your starting quarterback? Not Travis Partridge, NFL quarterback.
John Elway.
How about your head coach? Not Jerry Partridge, NFL head coach.
Marty Schottenheimer.
Marty Schottenheimer. Wow. Okay. All right.
Marty Schottenheimer. Back on the same field again.
That's a good combination.
I don't know. First thoughts.
Every year you let Missouri Western superfan Jay Summers give a motivational speech to your team. He's already done it this year. What's your favorite Jay Summers motivational speech that he's given to Missouri Western?
Probably the year he talked about Drew Newhart's senior year when he was a sophomore, and get the ball to him when he was open.
Get the ball to Drew when he was open.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. You got to do it. He's open right off the bat all the time. The center's just got to get it to him.
Hold that ball. I will hold that ball. Home and away. Always.
It's awesome that you let JJ do that, though. He gets it. He loves that. That's his thing. That's his shtick.
Feed the monster.
Yes, you do feed the monster. We do a lot of that here at GSI.
You two especially. Yes.
Yeah. ALCS, maybe on Monday. When we'll watch this, we'll have known if it got played on Monday. Are you going?
I have a ticket. So
you're going Monday night to Game 3.
If it rains out, then I won't be able to go because we'll practice on Tuesday until 5:45. But getting way ahead with my film study of Washburn, so I can do that.
Will this be the first ALCS game you've attended?
Yes, but I did go to the World Series where they played the Philadelphia Phillies when George Brett got a brushback pitch and was back from Dickie Knowles or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
What's the blue shirt on underneath there?
That's the Kansas City Royals shirt.
That's good.
Doesn't really match, but it matches my heart at this moment.
If the Royals lose the play-in game 2 weeks ago, would Ned Yost have been fired?
No. But if he'd have quit playing Billy Butler all the way and we'd have not made it, I would have been for it.
I still am not a Billy Butler fan. But anyway, Billy Butler, speaking of that, we left out that 85 series last week. We were talking about who you would start. we left out the DH. Billy Butler or Hal McRae?
I would probably have to go at a loyalty just what Hal McRae had done to Hal McRae, but I think Billy Butler at his best gives you more than the old Hal McRae.
Who will the Royals play in the World Series?
Oh, we're not in the World Series. I didn't realize we were in the World Series. We got a very difficult Baltimore Oriole team that we're trying to finish. I keep saying we're. I mean, obviously,
yes, you're not there.
The Royals.
That's a pet peeve of mine. But who will the National League champion be?
Well, I think the Cardinals already got it won, right?
Oh, yeah, of course, absolutely. Terrified. Cannot wait. Would love to see that happen. Can you imagine 2 weeks ago that was not even a realistic possibility? No one would have ever thought that. 3 wins away. Each team 2 wins away and 3 wins away from the World Series.
You're both hitting the long ball, too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you're
no comment on that.
You're 1 win away from being 5-2 on the season.
That's the key wins. Yeah, that's the key.
We'll see Jerry Partridge and the Griffins this Saturday at Washburn. We'll be right back.
If change never happened, how would life take flight? How would our days unfold? At Heartland Health, we believe change can be beautiful. That's why we're changing our name to offer you even better care. Care that keeps up with the changes in your life and the moments that matter most. Heartland Health is becoming Mosaic Life Care. It's more than health care, it's life care. Visit us online to learn more.
The Missouri Western volleyball team saw its 8-match win streak snapped last Saturday, unfortunately, at Nebraska Kearney. They'll try and begin a new streak against their rivals, Northwest Missouri State. They're at home Tuesday night inside the MWSU Fieldhouse. The Griffins enter the week with a 14-4 record, 8-2 in the MIAA, just 2 wins away from matching their win total from a season ago.
We have a lot of confidence, and it's just going to keep pushing us forward.
Welcome back. Griffin volleyball, not the only fall sport on a tear right now.
Yeah, Griffin soccer, they surpassed their 2014 win total after their first 3 matches, so they're really rolling. They're 7-4-1 overall. They've won a school record 4 straight matches, all of them by a score of 1-0. It's hard to do even if you try.
Yes.
Let's go back to last week, saw how they did it.
Friday night, Missouri Western Soccer hosting Washburn on the frozen tundra of Spratt Stadium. Except for one 78th minute, game still scoreless. Tara Russell on the corner kick. Bridget Blessy uses her head in more ways than one. That's the 2nd goal of the season for the redshirt freshman, and that proves to be the 2nd game-winning goal of her short career. That's the difference. Griffins win their 3rd straight 1-0 game. They improve to 6-4-1 overall. Defense does its job again, and Blessy does her job again.
Well, Tara's one of the greatest ball servers on the team, and she placed that ball perfectly, and I luckily got a head on it and found the upper 90.
Ryan Medley with Griffin Sports Insider here with head soccer coach Chad Edwards and the abominable snowman, or is that a pig? What is that?
We're not quite sure. Malia, what are you? Are you a snowman?
Sunday, Griffin soccer taking on Emporia State and trying to do something it's never done before. Searching for a school record 4th straight victory. Pick it up, scoreless 48th minute. Freshman Sydney Cluck feeds senior Tara Russell. Shot and a goal. Russell's 3rd of the season. Griffs go up 1-0, and that's all they need. The defense continues to be spectacular. Another day, another game, another shutout. The Griffins win their 4th straight 1-0 match. Their record now 7-4-1. Chad Edwards, now Missouri Western's all-time winningest soccer coach. Goalkeeper Sarah Lyle, now Missouri Western shutout leader. And the Griffins are now as dangerous and as good as they've ever been.
Guys, that's a hell of an effort. That's been a hell of a two weekends. We've won 2 weekends in a row. Woo! Hey, can we stop with the 1-0 game zone? Just kick some of these out. Really, from the first whistle to the final whistle, I thought we controlled the pace of the play.
It's just crazy the success we've had, and I mean, I've never seen us work so much as a team as we are. We're making the right passes. We're just making all the right plays.
I mean, our defense is doing fantastic. They're saving our butts.
Griffins on the road at Nebraska Kearney Friday and at Fort Hays on Saturday. They got 3 goals right now. Number 1, keep winning. Goal number 2, keep pitching shutouts. And goal number 3, score more goals. We're
We're up to 180 shots through 12 games. That's a pretty good number. And now we're starting to score goals. That's 4 straight games now that we've scored a goal. And now I wish we could get a couple goals per game, but we certainly have given ourselves a lot of chances, and hopefully they continue to find the back of the net. We can play with anybody. It's just a matter of executing within those 90 minutes. And if we execute well in those 90 minutes, we're going to put ourselves in a spot to win in the last 15 minutes of the game, and that's all I ask for.
Follow me into the jungle. Ain't no God on my streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle?
Missouri Western Golf making a cameo fall home appearance this week, battling wet weather in the Holiday Inn Express Invitational. That's at the St. Joseph Country Club. Greg Dillon's Griffon men loaded with new faces, new talent. He believes he has a team that can contend for an MIAA title this coming spring. Meanwhile, Griffon basketball season just around the corner. Both the men's and women's teams begin practice this week. The women led by third-year Griffon coach Rob Edmondson. The men led by second-year head coach Brett Weiberg. Both coaches, both teams looking for rebound seasons after rebuilding seasons last year. And welcome back. It should be interesting for basketball on both sides this season.
I'm excited for both teams. Again, you said it, they're looking to rebound from last year, but on paper, there's some good recruits in. I think it could be a very, very fun year.
Hopefully the on paper translates to the X's and O's, which translates to the court, which translates to points, which translates to wins.
Doesn't always work like that, but hopefully
it would be good. I cannot believe we're talking about basketball.
I guess I'm ready, but not quite, but
you have to say you're ready. When you're doing GSI and you're talking about Missouri Western basketball, you always have to be ready. Let's turn our attention now to matters of the head. It's time now for the Mosaic Life Care Minute.
This week we continue with part 3 of our 5-part series on concussions.
We're all taught as athletes that you're supposed to be tough. You're supposed to play through things. It's a lot different when it comes to the brain.
The thing with concussion is that there's not an obvious injury that's visible. There's no cast or splint. There's no set of crutches that goes along with it. It's an injury that you have to just accept, and that can be hard for coaches and parents when their son or daughter looks 100% physically, but we know that mentally they're not there.
So it's important that they take care of themselves because you only get one brain. We can't go in and undo what's already been done.
There's a rare but catastrophic syndrome that can occur called the second impact syndrome, which can lead to catastrophic consequences, death, paralysis, and long-term brain damage if a concussed athlete sustains a second impact before their previous concussion had a chance to heal.
If in doubt, get checked out.
If change never happened, how would life take flight? How would our days unfold? At Heartland Health, we believe change can be beautiful. That's why we're changing our name to offer you even better care. Care that keeps up with the changes in your life and the moments that matter most. Heartland Health is becoming Mosaic Life Care. It's more than health care, it's life care. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome back. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Missouri Western teams will do their part in the fight by hosting their 5th annual Pink Week this week. Kicks off this Friday with Missouri Western Baseball and its annual Pink Scrimmage game. It continues with home volleyball, soccer, and football games all next week. Missouri Western Athletics will be giving away special t-shirts in exchange for donations. All proceeds will go to the YWCA Choices program and the Heartland Breast Center.
Well, Dave, you mentioned this being the 5th annual Pink Week for Missouri Western Athletics, and the last last 4 years, they've raised over $6,000 to the Heartland Breast Center. The money stays local. It's a great cause anyway, and wear your pink.
So much awareness for this. You see it every sport, every level. There's pink all over the place, high school to the NFL and in between. So it's a great cause.
Dave, we enjoyed having you this week. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, sir. Anytime.
You can be the Gehrig to Easley's Wally Pip and come back anytime.
Let's go to the bullpen whenever you need.
I will make that call to the bullpen. We leave you this week with a special look at the Missouri Western Hall of Fame class of 2014. The latest Griffon legends inducted earlier this month. Have a great night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, we gather here this morning to pay tribute to 5 former Griffon superstars with their induction into the Missouri Western Athletic Hall of Fame. Our first group of inductees set the standard for Missouri Western women's basketball and the entire program. The 1994-95 women's basketball teams went on to finish 3rd in the nation with a 31-3 overall record.
This team came from everywhere across the country. We had toughness, we had enforcers. Foster and Arnold scared the hell out of everybody.
Darroll Wright took the MIAA by storm. Not as the best 6th man in the league, but one of the league's most outstanding players overall.
I came to the team meeting room. It was the day before the game, and my name wasn't on the starting lineup. I was a little disappointed. But like Coach said, he was like, Darroll, as soon as the ball went up, you was at the scorer's table, check it in. So.
In my mind, and I know there's been a lot of good players go through Missouri Western before me, but in my mind, Darroll Wright was the best player ever to put on the black and gold.
Mitch Mason is one of the best defensive backs to ever wear the black and gold for Missouri Western.
I take you with me every day that I'm there. I'm so grateful. Without Western, I would not be the chaplain at the University of North Carolina. Without the life stories, the lessons that I have learned here at Western, right on this campus.
Larry Ingram last stepped on the court for Western 30 years ago. That hot shooting translated to an average of 22.1 points per game, a mark that still ranks Larry #1 all time.
I have to really give a lot of credit to my coach, Skip Shear. He really was more than a coach to me. He was a dad, he was a friend, and he told me a long time ago, that somewhere along the line this would really mean a lot to me, and it really does.
The first individual to be honored posthumously, and only the second inductee from our junior college era. John Chavez is being recognized for both his athletic contributions on the track as well as his lifelong contributions to track and field and cross country in the St. Joseph community. During his long career, John Chavez was a translator and track official at 4 different Olympic Games.
We just want to say thank you to everyone, Missouri Western, for honoring our father, and I'm sorry. Anyway, just thank you very much.
Brice is the most decorated golfer to ever play at Missouri Western State University. His success on the nationwide tour led to Brice earning his PGA Tour card, where he currently plays.
Just to know that we left a footprint and will always be remembered for our time here at Missouri Western is really special. Lastly, Mom and Dad, I can't thank you enough for the time, energy, effort, money that you've invested in me to be where I am today. So I thank you. Go Griffs!